This is our sociology news. Tonight's show is a little different in that we are having a quiz. After the show, we will have a list of 5 questions. Those that can correctly answer the questions will get a prize, so stay tuned. Tonight's top stories. Studies show that children in schools are victims of labelling, segregation and teacher racism. There are even claims that Britain's schools have an ethnocentric curriculum. Tonight, we are joined by 3 sociologists, including the renowned Mary Fuller. Gilborn and Udall suggest that African and Caribbean children were the highest achievers on entry to primary school, yet by the time it came to GCSE, they had the worst results of any ethnic group. Why is this? Let's find out. Sociologists suggest that there are 5 important internal factors contributing to this. We'll start with labelling.
Labelling is the process of attaching a definition or meaning to an individual or group. For example, teachers may label pupils as a troublemaker, bright or stupid. Often a label is a stereotype that defines all members of a group in the same way.
Thank you, Annie. This is a very serious issue that needs to be resolved. Yeah. So, Mary Fuller, how are kids responding to abuse?
That's a very good question. Research has shown that pupils can respond to this in a variety of ways. An example of this is shown in a study I conducted in 1984. I observed a group of black girls in Year 11 at a London comprehensive school. These girls were high achievers in a school where black girls were placed in low streams. Instead of accepting the negative stereotypes of them, the girls channeled their anger about being labelled into the pursuit of educational success. The girls did not seek the approval of teachers, many of whom they regarded as racist. Being labelled does not determine the achievement rate of pupils, but instead of how they choose to act upon receiving the label.
Thank you. We've covered 2 internal factors, labelling and people's response. Kirsty, what's the 3rd factor?
Well, the 3rd factor is a conscientious one, the ethnocentric curriculum, favouring a particular culture and viewing it as the only normal culture. Troiner and Williams describe the curriculum in British schools as ethnocentric because it gives priority to white culture and the English language. Stephen Ball criticises the national curriculum for ignoring cultural and ethnic diversity and for promoting an attitude of Little Englandism. It is not clear what impact the ethnocentric curriculum has. For example, while it may ignore the Asian culture, Indian and Chinese pupils' achievement is above the national average.
This is very serious. There is also the factor of institutional racism. Tell us, Lavide, what that is, and is there any evidence supporting this claim?
Institutional racism is basically discrimination that is built into the way institutions such as schools and colleges operate. Hatcher found that in schools they gave low priority to race issues and failed to deal with pupils' racist behaviour.
Thank you, Lavide. Emma, before we end the show, do tell us what is the 5th and final factor?
David and Gilborn in 1997 argued that marketisation has given schools a greater scope to select pupils, and this puts some ethnic minority pupils at a disadvantage. This is because selection gives more scope for negative stereotypes to influence decisions about school admissions.
Thank you, Emma. It is also important to remember that external factors can contribute as well, but that topic's for another night. Now, to our quiz. Tonight we're doing this a little differently. We thought it would be a nice reward our viewers for watching, and we have made up a quiz about the show. 5 questions will appear on your screen, and all you have to do is answer the questions and send us the answers for your chance to win a prize. Thank you and good night.